It's about staying nimble and focused, ready to take on any challenge. We got this.
Stylish outside, savage inside. Lenovo Legion.
AI for I cans. For I got this. For cancer fighters, food providers, for dreamers, storytellers, for game changers. We're making AI for all.
Chosen. Watch everything we work for fall in line. We gon' give it all until the end of time. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end
of time. At Lenovo, we believe AI should live where you do. On your shop floor, sales floor, front desk, teacher's desk, home office, corner office, oh, and on your commute. Beep, beep. AI should be personalized to you, always responsive and always protected. So we all can be safer, smarter, healthier, happier, more productive, less stressed. AI should be at your fingertips. We build and deploy AI solutions at the edge of the network and on-premise, so they're immediate, private, and tailored to your business. And with the widest range of products and partners, we deliver the computing power to take on even the heaviest AI workloads. Because we believe AI should come to you and be built for what you need. Available to everyone, everywhere. We're making AI for firstborns, first loves, for I cans, for I got this, for cancer fighters, food providers, for dreamers, storytellers, for game changers. We're making AI for all.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lenovo Tech World 24 India Edition presents Dynamic Duos for Counter-Strike 2, sponsored by Lenovo. I'm your caster today, Bob Gusta. Alongside with me, I have my co-caster Aggressive, as we are here for day number 3 of the Dynamic Duo Wingman tournament. So, talk about it, Aggressive. Welcome. How are you doing?
Yeah, I was itching to get myself onto a CS2 cast, so as soon as Assassin called me, I knew I had to get on board because, come on, it's CS2. It's been so long since I last casted CS, and hey, I've been grinding myself out when it comes down to Wingman, and to see the professionals do it, I'm really excited to even bring all of you this action, because at least the last day before we head on down over to the top 4, mind you. Top 4 is going to be quite the interesting feat, because from what we have seen in the past, especially when it comes down to those top 4 teams, there's always a new innovative strategy that a particular team would like to employ. So today, are we going to be seeing the good old-fashioned CS Wingman, or something a little bit more different that is going to be up to par with up to par, and of course out of the ordinary, out of everything else that we have witnessed in this tournament thus far?
Yep, I mean, we did completed day 1 and day 2 of our dynamic duos. Most of it did ended up in single LMs. So let's take a look at the prize pool once again. With a total of 75,000 INR, first place will be receiving 45,000 INR, second place with 20,000, and third place will receive 10,000 rupees respectively. So the format is very simple. The whole tournament undergoes single LMs format on online qualifiers. Only top 4 teams will be selected on a single LMs bracket in an offline event in Delhi 7th February. So I'm pretty sure that the entire team on day 1 and day 2 are fighting for the top 4 spot. And I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the next future matches. So the 3 matches that we're going to have will be a best of 3 this time. Most of the teams will be having a second chance to ensure that if one of the maps didn't quite work out well in their favor, the second map will definitely help them to, put them back up on their feet, and maybe we could see a lot of decider maps.
There is a good possibility for it, you never really know, but with 75k on the line to get to that top place, It's going to be a long haul, especially when it comes down to a game of CS. It's very unpredictable from time to time what could happen in a game of CS, because you could be a team that is winning, especially in Wingman, mind you. You could be winning on a 5-3 or even a 6-3 in some cases. And then you just blink your eye and you're staring yourself down on the 7-7 scoreline where you possibly could just be the one to lose. You never really know. That is kind of the identity of CS, right? This is one of those games that, especially with now everything being MR12 on actual matchmaking, it's hard to predict because of how the economy has shifted. The game is so much more different when it comes down to the utilization of the new smokes, and of course the flashes being pretty much a big flashes now being almost close to null, mind you. And this has been a proven statistic that a lot of teams and a lot of players have just kind of strayed away from using flashes because of how the economy has shifted. But I'm getting into a completely different topic here. That's talking about actual CS versus the Wingman, which has a completely different dynamic entirely. That's why it's called the Dynamic Duos, because this is a game where two people need to work in proper tandem with each other. And as we go into the matchups for today's games, we're going to be able to see exactly which teams are going to be playing in front of our screens, which is going to be Puro Sanguine going up against Arcane Aces. We have seen Puro Sanguine yesterday perform admirably on their account, but Arcane Aces, they have a lot to prove.
Yep. And I do have to add the information that you talked about flashbangs. It is true that in CS2, with the newer exceptions of grenades and smokes having their own specific buffs, the same thing cannot be said for flashbangs. But who knows, maybe on 2v2 Wingman, we might be able to see, the executes from the T side using those flashbang put to great use. So yeah, once again, Puro Sanguine, we did get to see them in the previous, previous day of the dynamic duos. They've made a really good performance from them. So let's see what kind of maps do we get to expect from Puro Sanguine and Arcane Aces. So I'm pretty sure Inferno will be banned right away, mainly because of how many long corridors that you have to expect. There's a lot of avenues where the T side could enter in. So for CTs, they need to have at least some close range combat, and pretty sure that they would make a decision to go in for Vertigo, Overpass, and Nuke. We haven't seen Nuke a lot. We've seen Overpass quite a lot frequently on day 2. So that will be picked from Puro Sanguine nonetheless. Puro Sanguine is very, committed. We've seen them play on the same map, and they're very confident on this. So let's see how it's going to work out on map number 2. But map number 1, Arcane Aces, Vertigo. I'm really excited to see what kind of plays you get to expect from this.
It's a very standardized map pool, and I'll be very honest with you, sometimes I kind of forget that Vertigo is even in the Wingman map pool because it's not really played that often. A lot of teams don't enjoy this map, and I kind of understand that. Vertigo, one of my personal favorite maps, mind you, when it comes down to normal 5v5 CS, but for Wingman, it's a little bit more difficult to get a lot of proper executes on. Either you go towards mid, or you head your way down towards A main and hope for the best, right? Trying to run up the staircase, because going in for executes, it's pretty tough with a limited amount of utility that is presented to you, especially trying to set up those smoke walls from the side of spawn. You can maybe throw in a flash, but if your teammate dies trying to maybe make an entry from the staircase side while you're trying to set him up from the back end of T-Spawn, it's just so difficult. You're not going to get much done. But hopefully we're going to see something different coming out from both of these teams. Again, when it comes down to professional levels of play, when we have played the game for a really long time, us as casters, even if we try to analyze, we're not going to be able to do much, but it seems to be a simple, fast rush coming in from the staircase, and they're trying to brute force their way in, but Electra, okay, never mind. Electra, sorry, is going to be able to get a free shot over on the one. The members of PRS, they're in a good spot.
Yeah, looks like they really are, but the same thing cannot be said for Arcadia. One of them is already dinked down to 3 HP, and all Nightmare requires is just one shot to equalize it to a 1v1. He needs to deny the trade. Elytra is just constantly trying to tag him, but no, there is still a chance to secure it. Arcadia almost securing it, but Trigon will deny it with only 3 HP left. So Puro Sanguine, we will start things off with the pistol round in the first round, and this dink though from Elytra, really a powerful one, but Nightmare, he was just on with the pressure. For a moment there, he was about to win it, but Puro Sanguine, they bring it back.
I was a little bit too close for comfort too when you think about it. You're right, Baba. Could have been a really different story because Trigon was on very low HP. One straight shot coming in from Night Knight, but it just been the end of it all. But Elytra, aggressive with the MP9. Just runs it down through and it's gonna be able to survive. Backup comes in at the perfect time too. Watching Bites, not really watching Abyss, not really able to get a proper hold down on the earlier stages, but pretty good start from both of these teams, I would say. Now going into the buys. Let's see what Aces have in store for us.
Yeah, it's always a difficult situation for the T side to even push in, but oh, would you look at that? Elytra getting caught off guard with Nightmare, who already had his eyes on towards the stairs. The Molotov definitely did not work out well. So these utilities will be very important for the T side to ensure that they have victory around the site itself. Full buy rounds is the only way that Arcadia can get away with at least 1 or 2 wins. And you can see how close this round is going towards it. So watching Abyss, make sure to get the final kill on Trigon, putting Arcane Aces their first round win on the side of T side. All they've got to do is to ensure that they keep their utility games right and counter those utilities that Purasangwe gives it towards the side. And I'm pretty sure that they should be going well and dandy in the T side.
That's for certain. You can never get a little bit too comfortable, especially with the buys coming in for the CTs. A little bit aggressive here, Elytra. You need to show respect to them. Otherwise, you're going to be in an even worse spot. Optimal positioning coming in from the members of our Arcane Aces. They're finally going to be able to make their way up. Utility present, but no one's really giving them much of an angle to try and even get a fight into. A lot expended already, and members of Arcane Aces have still yet to make their way up. The clearance to the corner, the cubby being held, but the molly does not fully connect. So Trigon is just going to be able to wait it out. And Elytra catching all of the players, but Abyss so much wiser. Immediate for the trigger, it's going to be find the shot, and now it's all up to Elytra. 2 players at very low HP. The USB comes out to maybe find a shot, and he's going to be able to do it. Elytra. 1 HP in a dream, and he's able to make that dream a reality.
That's what happens when you have a lot of electrolytes. Elytra, the man with 2 kills, back
See
to
yourself
back
out of the door.
on towards the B side. I mean, come on, man. I had a pun. I had to do it. All right. It's just
I know.
The way how both of these teams are, playing so close really shows that they value a lot of utilities and their own specific positionings. And just by looking at the CT side, you can see that they have less amount of utilities. Only 1 flash. All right. Elytra finds an opening towards the smoke. It's looking really good, so that would definitely force on a 1v2 situation. We're watching Abyss's end. Finds one of the players, but his location is compromised. So watching Abyss needs to utilize his flashbangs. One of them will be used. Doesn't have the information on the second player. Almost dinks out on the player, but here comes Trigon to clean it up and give Team Purasangwe the lead that they required. 4-1, Arcane Aces needs to commit to a full-on utility buy so that those flashes or grenades or molotovs should have a huge impact towards the side.
And winning the toss and being able to start off on that CT side just makes life so much easier when it comes down to the map of vertical. The amount of utility that needs to be invested to even try to break through these lines is very difficult. I expected maybe a little bit more of a mid push and a switch out for the pacing, but doesn't really seem to be the case coming in from a member of Arcane Aces. And you can tell that for Sanguine, there's a reason why they deserve to be here. Pretty electric on the other side as Trigon kind of in a one-and-done angle. If he misses a shot, this could just spell doom for his entire team. I think he spotted the head of one of the players. He should be able to find the trap. Here we go. Yep. It's just free cleanup for him. Perfect positioning.
Yeah, it was an eco round after all. Eco rounds are always, not a great position to be in, especially when you have 0 utilities and you rely heavily on Deagles and Tech 9s. it definitely doesn't work when you're going up against, high ground or so I wouldn't say like aggressive players or long range. But it looks like they are applying a lot of pressure in towards the stairs. Not a lot of pressure is being made in towards mid. They made it once with the split push that Team Arcadia made. That did not work out because one of the players, they got themselves picked out. They are continuing to pressure this as best as possible, using utilities, making sure that they clear out every single corners that they see. The grenades to make sure that they can deal major damage. So Trigon will take some damage towards it. Elytra will try to contest the gunfight. Now here comes the difficult question. Will Team Arcadia secure it? Because winning this round will give a lot of aggressive potential towards this win, and I believe that is the answer. 2-5. Arcane Aces. During this round, will definitely help them to survive a bit longer in the first half, gaining a lot of economy build. But Elytra looks like he's actually going in for a risky buy here, Maggie.
Really that much for risk at the end of the day, but that is gonna hurt them if they miss the shot. A good tag, but he's not gonna be able to find out much from it. Trigon, really bad idea. Swapping out your weapon for the op at such a horrible moment. You know that your teammate hit the shot. A little bit of a miscommunication coming in from the members of PRS, but not really the end of the world. Another opportunity coming in for the members of Arcane Aces. They get one more round and they're going into the other side in a pretty good half, I would say. 5-3. Nothing to really scoff at. They need to get their footing for the T side. The fact that they even got those 3 rounds is pretty big. Getting 3 rounds on the T side of Vertigo. Sorry, on the T side of Vertigo. It's very difficult on Wingman.
Yep. The CTs always have the advantage, right, Aggie? So for the T side, it's always about survival. They need to ensure that they have good economy ground. They need to ensure that they have side control because the time is always against them. Oh boy, a huge tag and removal from Trigon. Leading to watching up as the only man standing. He doesn't have any weapon left. He's going in for the knife. Huge mistake. But no, he recovers it. Trigon recovers the final bout. And Purosangwe secures it with a 6-3 scoreline.
Absolute disrespect. Good God, man. Purosangwe. So fast when it comes down to their overall execution. Not really giving the members of Arcane Aces much of a breathing room whatsoever. Flashes come through as they're gonna try to make their run in. With that, from the lines, Elytra with the back 10. Still alive and kicking. Just swings out and takes both players out. He doesn't even need his teammate to be present for him. Good flashes as support as Sanguine. 2 more rounds for them to try and take this dub. Will they be able to do it though because Arcane Aces still have the MP9s in their hand.
Yeah, Arcane are currently facing a really tough situation though because they don't have enough utilities and Elytra just rushes in and gives a taste of its own medicine. Using the MP9 against his opponents. It's a CT's weapon.
It's a strong weapon.
Yeah, it is really a strong weapon, even on long range. It's a 1v2 situation though for Nightmare. He has a full armor kit, so he could survive 1 headshot, but his location is given away immediately from the Molotovs. So he needs to figure out a way to get those 2 kills. 1 tag's made, he's still alive. Nightmare is on 24 HP, and Trigon needs to get at least 1 shot to the head, and he will secure it without a fuss. 8-3. Match point is in for Purosangwe to secure map number 1 Vertigo. And I've got to say, this peak though from Elytra, boy. Like the 2-tap headshots from the MP9 is just so powerful. You know, it's like what's more weird about it is that it's even powerful than the FAMAS.
Yep. It's not even a weird thing because the FAMAS is possibly one of the worst weapons in the entirety of Counter-Strike. I'm not even going to joke with you about that one. But this doesn't really care much. He has an M4 on his hand and he's going to be able to utilize it. MP9 still. Strength will prevail. And there's a reason why this weapon is so strong. Because, first of all, it has an extremely high fire rate. And it has one of the best running accuracies in the entire game out of all the other SMGs. Plus, how much does it cost, Baba? Only $12.50.
I mean, not a lot. Exactly.
It's a $12.50 SMG. the amount that you're investing into that one particular weapon and the reward it gives you, it's just the best bang for your buck weapon. And that's the reason why normally the CTs will always try to pick up this weapon in comparison to a rifle in some rounds because it carries forward so well over to the rifle rounds. But we're talking about that a little bit too much because the rifles are going to be going in for fights, and Elytra is just so good when it comes down to the overall executions. It was so quick. I thought it was going to take a little bit more time for them to, settle in, maybe throw a little bit more utility, but 2 seconds in, the fight's already done and dusted. Elytra, he takes no prisoners.
I mean, once you get the opening, you still got to, maintain that pressure, right? If you just give them one single opportunity, then the CTs would already have the better advantage. So the all-around thing on Wingman is that you should never give economy advantage to the CTs, because if they did, then the chances of them holding the site will be much more stronger. And for the T side, it will be very tough. They need to utilize on their utilities. They need to use Molotovs to gain information whenever you hear the huge sound cues that comes alongside with it. You have the grenades that can deal more damage without even going in for peaks. So utilities themselves cost, it's a one-time use, but it heavily relies on gunfights and positionings. And the way how Kurosangwe played it was just absolutely amazing. Whenever they get a kill, they always going for an aggressive peaks, knowing that if one of them goes out, an immediate trade would come back instantly. So they played it well. They played it accordingly on Vertigo. There was a lot of pressure being made towards the stairs itself. A good amount of counters we've seen from Kurosangwe when they were on the CT side, but in the end, the T's need the main goal for the T sides is to ensure that they don't give a lot of economy advantage to the CTs, and they definitely did that in the second half.
Yeah, that's for certain. They put all gas pedal on that pressure, and they made sure that at least they took down one player, right? And if you're able to take down one of the CTs, then that's more than enough for you to just keep on destroying the CT side economy. And you can tell that pretty much right up till the very end, the members of Arcane Ace just couldn't go in for buys at all. Poor guys, one of them just had to constantly buy an MP9, maybe a FAMAS. He wasn't even able to go in for full utility. Maybe an XM could have been an option, something a little bit more different. But at the end of the day, one of them just couldn't even buy a rifle. And you could see that Abyss was taking a lot of unnecessary duels when it came down over to that CT side as well. He needed to be a slight bit more passive, utilize the utility, bait out a couple of flashes coming in from the members of Kurosangwe, and then opt to go in for a rush and take those engagements. And as we head on down over to the statistics, I'm pretty sure that will also highlight to you why the members of Arcane Ace had such a rough time. And when you look at it, this just kind of took a lot of unnecessary duels, and it hurt him quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of attempt though from Arcane Aces. There was one attempt of a split, one pushing from mid and the other from stairs, hoping that they could find an initial pick or two, but instead getting picked out quite early gave the advantage for Kurosangwe instead. If you take a look at the kill feed, I wouldn't say kill feed. If you take a look at the scoreboard here, Elytra with 10 kills, Trigon with 8, Watching Abyss with 6, and Nightmare with 6 kills respectively. The main thing that I have to say is Arcane Aces, the timing at the way how they push in towards the site was a little bit weaker, especially from that split push that they made. And also there were like certain moments where they took a lot of time in clearing out angles one by one. But once the main thing is that they need to find information first and then go ahead with using utilities. So information is king in any single FPS games that you can find. Just go for a peek. If you find one, you follow it up with flashbangs, or just go ahead with Molotovs to remove out one of the positions so that they can push in aggressively and get those important peaks. It's always timing, and mastering timing is always difficult for the T side because the time is against the clock. So it's always the CTs that gains the advantage in the end. But it's not the end of the world for Arcane Aces just yet. We still have 2 more maps to go. And the main problem of it is that map number 1 was a map that has been picked by Arcane Aces. So map number 2, Overpass, will be even much more tougher because it's a map being picked by none other than Kurosangwe. So very difficult situation for them. Unless and until if we could see deciders, I'm pretty sure that I could go for Purasangwe at this point here, Aggie.
Yeah, especially if the map of Vertical wasn't their home turf and they felt that comfortable on the T side, you'd be scared of what kind of strategies they have in store for you on Overpass. Seems to be no real nades coming out from the side of Nightmare even. Expected him to maybe pull out a Molly to try and hold them back in a different position. Pulling out a Deagle on the first round, a very dangerous ploy. And there's a reason why you don't pick up a Deagle at all when it comes down to the pest round. You're going up against Glocks. And I don't know if you know this, Baba. Glocks are 10 times better in CS2 in comparison to the USP. I don't know what anyone tells me. The Glock running gun accuracy versus the one-tap potential of the USP is it's just no competition, right? You got run down and you get one tap.
Yeah, I mean, either you swap out with P2000s or 5.7s, it is still tough. MP9s, though, they are still powerful, as we get to see from Nightmare's end. 2 kills back to back. Monstrous push from the T side, and they get denied from a B-shot Nightmare. 2 kills back to back, 1-1, equalized score count. And Purasangwe, they are once again back with a broken bye.
Yep. Buying into this round was a pretty smart ploy coming in from the members of Arcane Aces, but they don't really even care about what's really happening here. They're just jumping straight on it, and Arcane Aces. It's a free kill with the great HE for 1. It's going to be immediately going to be the one to trade out the player who was a little bit too aggressive for his own good. Could have waited for a bit of information, but you can tell that the members of PRS just a little bit excited in the way that they're taking a lot of these duels, and they're just forced by Mac 10s like it's nobody's business. Jumping out, taking fights. The HE's though dealing a good chunk of damage, and that's all that they need to hold down the lines here. The Mac 10, not really the best of weapons for the longer ranges, but it seems to be working out for Trigon. Not for long, as Nightmare catches the last bullet with the Galil. Finally shuts him down. 1-3 as Arcane Aces. They're looking very comfortable on the CT side of Overpass.
Yeah, the read was good, Aggie. I mean, 4 rounds back-to-back, PRS have been pushing towards Monsters, and they decided, you know what, let's just throw 2 frag grenades back-to-back, and the damage that they dealt towards Monster was just absolutely brutal. PRS needs to be careful about it, so they're not going to go aggressive push towards Monster like that very quickly. So that place has been contained for now. PRS will be playing as safe as possible, so they need to rely on 2 utilities, 1 flashbangs and 1 smokes at the hands of Trigon. But Elytra is thinking of playing a very cheeky play here all the way towards Monster. Peaks will be made, immediately removed by the Watching Abyss.
Nice shot,
Trades will be made. It's a 1v1. Trigon would be very low on HP. He's going to go up against the M4A1 Silencer, which has a pretty good accuracy, mind you. And his location won't be given away if he gets caught off guard. So for PRS, winning this round is very crucial. And I can see why PRS is just going aggro at this point. They want to play on the CT side. They need to secure at least 2 or 3 wins on the, in the first half itself, so that when the role swap happens on second half, they'll be able to get some wins from their end.
Really agree with you there, and the timing coming in from Nightmare. Beautiful, running on the clock to the very last second. Pretty much, it felt as though he knew exactly when the player was going to turn around. Experience working out beautifully for him. Spuro Sangwe in a pretty tough spot, I would say. As Arcane Aces, they're just playing the mind games out here. They're utilizing better utility. And that's one of the main reasons why they're winning. And Overpass seems to be a map that they're extremely comfortable in, especially for the CT side. And mind you, Overpass is just brutal, right, for the Ts. Especially on Wingman 2v2. Considering the amount of utility that can be thrown by the CTs early on to deny any form of aggressive rush, unless you're able to utilize your smoke to just extinguish out the volleys and try to catch the CTs on a horrible timing. If you get stuck on the opposite end of Monster or even Sewers, you're just done for. You can't really push in from anywhere.
And since one of the players will be holding towards B shot, it's even much more tougher to enter in the site, unless and until if you contest on a 2v1. which high likely could end in a trade. 1v1 could happen. Watching Abyss could, play around the site, maybe on barrels, on heavens. It's very tough for the T side to pinpoint the last player's information, and that gives the higher advantage for the CT side, unless and until if he misses his initial shots. So it's very tough for the T side. So Purosangwe, they have to figure out a different way, and that different way will be in towards B shot. Smokes will be placed to ensure that they have higher advantage. One of them is having high ground. Interestingly enough, securing that 1 kill will be huge for Elytra. Forcing on a 1v1 situation, this will be even tougher for Nightmare. Sees the gun, secures one. Can he get the second? Yes, headshot! Nightmare.
Okay.
1v2. He secures an important round win for Arcane Aces. Very unfortunate though, because he should have secured that first kill. The trade should have been imminent, but that was not good for Purosangwe's end.
Not at all. PRS not really looking that hot after what happened in map number 1. But the confidence is not as present, but the Galil just so good on angles like that. Swings out, takes the fight, but Nightmare. He's the boogeyman under their bed. 1-6. You told me this was going to happen in map number 2. I would not have believed you, but Overpass, an extremely CT-sided map. And you can see why. A couple of mollies and you're just done for. You only have a couple of choke points that you can break through. And if you miss your shots, it's going to be the CTs. Those are always going to be the ones to come out. No, timing! We missed!
Oh no, second volley! He's going to burn alive!
Roast chicken.
Oh boy. He just got absolutely roasted and toasted, both at the same time. 7-1. Arcane Aces, 2 more round wins. But the tough part is the role swap. Purosangwe are on the CT side, and unless and until Arcane Aces win their pistol round, I could say that Purosangwe can snowball their way all around towards an equalizer 7-7. This could be a possibility. And look at the aggressive plays that Purosangwe is going right now. Jesus! Elytra, what is that shot? My goodness.
The man just told him to
Yeah,
sit
Aggie,
down.
what were you saying? What were you saying about USP silencer being way much more powerful than the Glock? Well, Purosangwe is proving you wrong now.
I mean... Listen. The USB has failed me more times than the Glock ever has, especially when it comes down to a person doing a drive-by on me. The man gets inside of a Bugatti and just one-taps me out of existence. Tell me what do I do then? But the MP9 is one of those weapons that does not do that. It's going to be always try true and tested. You can always rely on this particular weapon, but Nightmare needs to hold faith that his Glock can maybe do something, but not really going to be the case. Elytra gets a good kill, and immediately 2 rounds just pass with a blink of an eye, 3-7. Purosangwe are slowly but surely trying to make a comeback here. Still a bunch of rounds to be had, and one mistake, and they're staring down a match point.
And looks like the Ferrari peak from Purosangwe. I think they're not going to stop. The Nightmare is playing it very safe this time. It's not going to give away his positioning just yet. Smoke that will block a lot of lines of sights. There's much more entryway towards the CTs to push aggressive. And that aggressive play will force the T side to use every single bit of their utilities. Only Nightmare has a molly, flashbang, and smoke to at least provide some access towards the side. But this is looking really good though. Elytra is just playing it safe. Elytra and Trigon. Information with a wide peak. I wouldn't say wide peak, it's just a jiggle peak. But watching Abyss, oh boy, his information's been given. Now he needs to go aggressive. He gets one. It's 1v2 situation. And he gets away with 2 kills back to back. Providing match point for Arcane Aces. It's 8-3, but Purosangwe, I'm pretty sure they're not going to give away just yet.
Really well played round coming in from the members of Arcane Aces. Took their time, made sure to force out the engagements, and now looking to be in optimum spots, but with the M4 in the hands of the T's, it could be a little bit different. Elytra, why the aggressive peak? Just gave away his life for pretty much nothing here. No trades whatsoever, and utility not even invested to that degree as Trigon, the world, up against him here. The AKs, one tap to the head could just be the thing that ends him. And as expected, a quick peek and the counter strafe to end it all. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, map number 2, seems like your bet was the wrong one.
Yeah. Not a good idea for Purasangwe to do the same, contest towards Monster twice in a row, because they expected that to happen. I mean, pistol rounds, we saw Purasangwe play aggro for like 3 rounds back to back. It could have been best to, try to shuffle things a bit. Maybe instead of applying pressure towards Monster, it could have been better to apply pressure all the way towards B shot. B shot tunnel, you can have great angles to take out players one by one, knowing that you don't have to worry about connectors. I mean, it could have happened, but the main problem is predictability. Both teams showed the same levels of predictability on towards Monster time and time and again, and it could have been better to just shuffle things up a bit. Some rounds you can go aggressive, sometimes you can apply pressure. I mean, granted, Purasangwe was applying pressure time and time again, but sometimes you need to know that if there is a certain pressure being applied a lot of times, the T side will always play safe. They're going to wait for the utilities to flush out, and once that comes to an end, then and only then will they proceed with a push like this. So Arcane Aces, they played it safe for 2 rounds back to back, and they ended up emerging victorious on map number 2 Overpass.
Yeah, map number 2 really being a little bit of a surprise for all of us here, especially with this map being a pickup from the members of Purasangwe. You expected them to be a little bit more prepared, a little bit less aggressive when it comes down to their overall peaks, and it seems as though the aim that they were able to showcase at map number 1 really didn't transfer over as well to map number 2. Overconfidence really does seem to be the downfall of Purasangwe for one particular map, but hey, they still have that safety net of that 3rd map going into this, and if I remember properly, it is Inferno, so I do believe that both teams will be at a very clean slate going in. Oh, sorry, it's me. My bad. Inferno was bad.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the scoreboard once again on map number 2 Overpass. It was, let's just say, a monstrous match, because every single rounds ended up with T side either getting kills on Monster or getting killed in Monster, with Nightmare total of 8 kills, Watching Abyss with a total of 10, and Purasangwe 9 and 3 kills respectively. At this point, this entire map was Arcane Aces' map all along. The way how they've pressured, the way how they utilize grid, the way how they use their Molotovs really well, and Purasangwe they kept pressuring towards Monster time and time again, in which they failed numerous amount of times, giving the advantage towards Arcane Aces. Not a lot of pressure. I mean, there was one round where they kept applying pressure in towards Monster. Sorry, not Monster, in towards B shot. The peak was really good, but Nightmare was the one who ended up clutching most of 1v2 situations that really kept Purasangwe's morale boost up on an all-time low. So definitely they need to worry about Nightmare's 1v2 situations in towards CT side on map Nuke. But I think Nuke will be a map where CTs could bring a lot of different guns this time. We've been seeing a lot of MP9s, maybe with XM shotguns or Max 7s. That could definitely help for CTs if they are opting out for a force spy. I think on the Deciders map this could be an optimal solution, but the way how Arcane Aces and Purasangwe are playing, they're playing it according to the box. Economy, they're utilizing economy by going in for a full-on eco rounds with just Tech 9s and Desert Eagles. So I'm pretty sure that they won't bring in shotguns. That's what I'm thinking, although I hate to say it.
Hey, shotguns are the most broken weapons in the entirety of CS2. You can't prove me otherwise. That particular gun has given me PTSD when I was playing
Oh
Inferno.
boy.
There was one game where a guy just
Boy.
ran an XM, and when it came
Mhm.
down to the T side, they didn't have money on Nova. Sat inside of apps for like the entire game, and we could not physically go towards it. Doesn't matter what we threw at the guy. We could throw flashes, we could throw volleys, we threw a smoke. For some reason, he killed us through a smoke. He could have been hacking, he could have been doing whatever, but we hated him in the process. Like, we just could not do anything to him. And it's kind of ordinary, right? Because the XM, there's a reason why it's a very strong and powerful weapon, because it can pretty much one-shot you at almost medium to short range. If you hit that headshot, you're guaranteed gonna get that kill, unless the other person is using an AK and you get unluckily one tapped in the head while they are still getting aim punched in the process. So it's stuff like this that really makes you think that CS is just a game of attrition, right? Whoever is going to be able to tilt you more at the end of the day. And the members of Rosagwe just maybe got a little bit tilted out of their own accord, because Elytra made a lot of very unnecessary peaks. He wanted to be that player that got the kills early on because he expected his aim just to be better, but there were certain situations where he needed to take a couple of steps back because Arcane Aces really evolved their strategies to go up against these aggressive plays being made by a player like Elytra. Hopefully that's not going to be the case on the map of Nuke, because Nuke is one of those maps that, yes, it of course awards good aggressive play, but unless you're disciplined as well and you know how to trade properly with your teammate, Nuke can just be another very brutal map, because don't forget, elevation needs to be taken into a factor, and there's a lot of different elevated angles that you can play here on Nuke. No one's on the same playing field anymore. One could be running around over towards the top parts of control room. I forgot the name for a second. Inside of control room, one could be right behind the reactor, one could be playing towards the side of secret. There's so many different angles that you need to worry about, and unless you clear out everything methodically and of course utilize utility properly, smokes here don't really matter as much. Because think about it, in Nuke, whenever you're entering onto the site, what do you really smoke? You don't have much. Maybe you have a smoke lineup to completely block off double doors and maybe single door, but after that, what do? It's all about the aim, and it's all about how you utilize those Molotovs.
Yep. Smokes usually helps out if it was a 5v5. I mean, in the A side, there's a lot of open areas where T's usually utilize 3 smokes back to back in order for them to gain control all the way towards the stairs that connects near garage. But other than that, I do have to agree with aggressive, because on a map like Nuke B side, there's a lot of high ground access that CTs could get good amount of advantage here and there, and the chances of providing a good flashbangs are also even tougher, because maximum, yeah, you can throw flashbangs in towards the doorways. Yeah, you only have 2 flashes. You can flash towards double doors or a single door, but what about the ones who are holding on all the way towards the backside, all the way towards ramps? There will be one CT playing in towards ramps. He always have tons of information that could give the other players the advantage to secure 1 or 2 kills. The main problem has to be towards secret and reactor, right? That's the only place where the T-side could be safe. But it always comes down to whether if he secures the plant in the first place. And talk about wingman 2v2s. Securing the site is much more tougher for the T sides, because the CTs, they always have the advantage of time. They have 2 minutes, and all they have to do is just utilize Molotovs in a way that they could waste a lot of time for the Ts. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's for certain. And another thing is that Nuke is one of those maps that you're rarely ever gonna get the plant down for free. Like, as a T, if you get the plant down, then something is wrong, and the CTs have just not contested you early enough. Either there's absolutely no one playing towards the side of control room, or the man's trying to go in for a clutch, or it could be even Babagusta trying to be that sneaky man trying to go for a knife. You never really know, because either you are gonna win the first initial battle as soon as you enter the site and you're able to kill both of the CTs, or you're gonna get one tapped out in the process. There's no in between. Planting on this particular map, it's quite difficult, because the B site, again, it's very open. There's like a ton of different places that the CTs could just stand in, set up crossfires, and do whatever the hell they want. Flashes, not really that good. Molotovs, to a certain degree, yes, they have their strengths. Smokes, a lot more favorable for the CTs in comparison to the Ts. There's so many different factors. And HEs, yeah, of course, you have the strength of the HEs now being able to completely dissipate smokes, but where do you use it here? Pretty much at the end of the day, this map, not really as utility focused, more about the bare bones fundamentals of how you are able to go in for swings, how you're able to go in for trades, how much information that you can gain from using jiggle peaks and formulate a plan just on a bare bones level. Now, imagine if this was going to happen on the A side, it could have been different. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later on down the line, as the teams are having a little bit of issue getting on down over into the server. So we're going to check on them, make sure everything's okay, and we're going to be heading on down over into a short little break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's about staying nimble and focused, ready to take on any challenge. You got this.
Stylish outside, savage inside. Lenovo Legion.
AI for I cans. For I got this. For cancer fighters, food providers, for dreamers, storytellers, for game changers. We're making AI for all.
Chosen, watch everything we work for fall in line. We gon' give it our all until the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end
of time. At Lenovo, we believe AI should live where you do. On your shop floor, sales floor, front desk, teacher's desk, home office, corner office, oh, and on your commute. Beep, beep. AI should be personalized to you, always responsive and always protected. So we all can be safer, smarter, healthier, happier, more productive, less stressed. AI should be at your fingertips. We build and deploy AI solutions at the edge of the network and on-premise, so they're immediate, private, and tailored to your business. And with the widest range of products and partners, we deliver the computing power to take on even the heaviest AI workloads. Because we believe AI should come to you and be built for what you need. Available to everyone, everywhere. We're making AI for firstborns, first loves, for I cans, for I got this, for cancer fighters, food providers, for dreamers, storytellers, for game changers. We're making AI for all.
Lenovo.
It's about staying nimble and focused, ready to take on any challenge. You got this.
Stylish outside, savage inside. Lenovo Legion.
AI for I cans, for I got this, for cancer fighters, food providers, for dreamers, storytellers, for game changers. We're making AI for all.
Chosen, watch everything we work for fall in line. We gon' give it our all until the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end
of time. At Lenovo, we believe AI should live where you do. On your shop floor, sales floor, front desk, teacher's desk, home office, corner office, oh, and on your commute. Beep, beep. AI should be personalized to you, always responsive and always protected. So we all can be safer, smarter, healthier, happier, more more productive, less stressed. AI should be at your fingertips. We build and deploy AI solutions at the edge of the network and on premise, so they're immediate, private, and tailored to your business. And with the widest range of products and partners, we deliver the computing power to take on even the heaviest AI workloads. Because we believe AI should come to you and be built for what you need. Available to everyone, everywhere. We're making AI for firstborns, first loves, for I cans, for I got this, for cancer fighters, food providers, for dreamers, storytellers, for game changers. We're making AI for all.
It's about staying nimble and focused, ready to take on any challenge. You got this.
Stylish outside, savage inside. Lenovo Legion.
Alright folks, welcome back to Lenovo Tech World 24 India Edition presents Dynamic Duos for Counter-Strike 2, sponsored by Lenovo. Once again, we are back with our first matchup between Team Purasangue versus Arcane Aces. We just completed map number 1 and map number 2. I believe we are not going to waste any time with map number 3, which will be Nuke. We had a lot of discussions about it, and Aggressive was talking about the way how Nuke works, but without any further ado, we're not going to waste any time at all and start things off with the pistol rounds in this map Nuke.
Yes, here's where the growing pains will start. CTs already in position, control room being taken over by Abyss. He has holding down the line, but now where do you entry? Where do you want to go? Double doors getting opened up. A little bit of a bait here, Elytra. Not really playing as aggressive as you would expect him to, and I like that. Beautiful crossfire, one on the top, one at the very bottom is Elytra. Good for the first kill. And now with the crossfires fully set up, USP doing its work. The Nightmare just had no idea where to turn. Does he check left? Does he check right? A couple of missed shots is all that it takes. And with that, the members of PRS coming out of the gates running for this particular map and showcasing why Nuke is probably going to be their home turf.
And every time we look at Elytra's POV, his USP shots are like insane. I mean, he did the same thing on Overpass, and he's also doing the same thing on Nuke. The thing about Purasangue is that they're really confident right now. The aggressive picks will be made. Elytra comes in at the right time to rescue his teammate. Throwing 2 players back to back on the side of Arcane Aces and give the lead at the hands of Purasangue with 2-0 scoreline in their hands.
That's gonna hurt fast when it comes down to these shots. It's PRS starting things off really beautifully here, and with that, Nightmare on the single door, not really in the best of spots. Shots connecting here, but Nightmare on the HP department. Is Elytra a little bit too aggressive for his own good here, gets got out completely in the open. And you can tell that the member of Arcane Aces, they just have a lot of discipline in comparison to Purasangue. Like, I will say that Purasangue has the better aim in a lot of these fights, but discipline-wise, Arcane Aces are just miles ahead of them.
There's got to be any problem. The grid headshot, though, from Nightmare. Taking off one player in the process will definitely force Trigon in a very tough spot. Smokes will be used. Looks like all 3 places in towards glasses. Double doors to be taken out, but the timing from Trigon will catch Watching Abyss off guard. But the biggest question is, does he know the information into his Nightmare? Now he does. Finds out one of the players. Needs to reload his weapon. Silencer has much more better punch towards it. Hot flash is not going to affect one of the player. Just needs to find a proper timing to click on the head. It's just so close. Purasangue needs this win. If they do not, it will be tough, and looks like that will be the case. 2-2.
He ran out of bullets.
Yeah, he ran out of bullets, unfortunately. But I do have to talk about the weakness of MP9, though. No matter how good fire rate the gun has, when it comes to wall bangs, I could say FAMAS still beats it. You know, FAMAS has a good punch, it has good penetration. The same thing can be said to an SMG because it doesn't
Wall
provide
bangs
a
in
lot of
my
damage if it's
CS2?
aimed. I mean, it could happen. I
Blasphemy.
mean, there are some wall bangs in CS2, right? I mean, there are some spots where you can wall bangs. But yeah, I mean, I'm just pointing it out, one of the key factors of FAMAS and MP9. No! No! Almost.
Okay, I think they're done for. That could have been a trade right there. Nightmare. He dealt the damage, but he's not really going to be able to find the kill. And with 2 members still very much alive, it's not going to be that easy. Even if you are not in the best spots of the weapons, Elytra getting his hands on that AK was pretty much the final nail on the coffin there for Sanguine. Back in towards the win it for this one.
Trigon doesn't have it. Yeah, for a moment that I thought Purasangwe had 2 AKs back to back. Even Elytra dropped the weapon so that it could give it to his teammate and secure the second AK. But yeah, the recovery did not work out well, and that's forced with an MP9s. But on the bright side, Arcane Aces are forced on an eco round unless and until the Deeds of Watching Abyss secures one. No, it does not. Unfortunate. Pushes aggro towards the Molotovs, catches away. Information will be given from the sound queue, and Nightmare with P250 only has a dream to secure a kill or 2. Information's given, Trigon gets it, and just like that, Purasangwe are in the lead 4-2.
Purasangwe are now feeling the confidence here. Going into it, their utility usage is pretty optimum. They know what to expect, they know how to stop these early aggressive rushes, and the early bouts of utility that they're investing is just perfect for them. Smoke's already utilized, both doors now fully covered. Plus, now they have an opportunity to make their way all the way towards the side of control. Elytra! So aggressive, and the pre-fire working out in his favor. Has him already completely block off any form of trade that could be coming in, and now it's just a waiting game. PRS, they're the ones who are in the driver's seat for this entire fight. Never mind! It don't look that good.
The stairs.
I think the car's wheels just got punctured.
And did you just realize that the stairs just tanked a headshot? I mean, this is the second time I'm witnessing. The first hit was with the AK. It actually tanked a headshot that went through the stairs. And the second it was from the P90, forcing on 17 HP. Both of them are low, but Elytra has the upper hand in long-range fights. Same thing can also be said with the P90. If he chose to go aggro push all the way towards the side, but he chose not to. Not a single utility is left on both the sides.
Yeah, that's just tough. Not really much that you can do right with the P90 at that range. You have too many different angles to check, and plus your HP is really low, so that AK is still gonna be the much more optimal weapon for a fight like that. Utility invested from either end, but once more the CTEs just have full control here, Baba. They're taking no prisoners, and the fact that they're in position is just gonna be even better. But the Galil, again, a much better weapon than the M4s, mind you. He's able to come out on top. And with Trigon now being the last player remaining, he's been an absolute treat to watch, but even this is going to be an impossible feat for him to try and break into.
He's just trying to get a tag towards the head, but since the location is given away, he can only rely on a single flashbang. Finds the opening. It's up to a Galil and an AK. He needs to secure the bomb, but instead he'll just give away as a bait. And Nightmare gets it. The final nail in the coffin of the first half. We will end things off on a 5-3 scoreline. Still favoring for Purasangwe. We'll see what the second half has in favor for both these teams.
Shots though at the end of the day. Having the confidence is pretty much one of the most important things going into a game of CS. Specifically in Wingman.
Okay.
Running out immediate, and wait a minute. Did he get a collateral or did he just two-tap them? I heard only one bullet. What?
I heard two. I had 2 bullets. I definitely heard 2 bullets.
I heard
watching
one and
Abyss
I was like,
just,
wait, what?
I'm pretty sure watching Abyss was just like sprinting towards the upper side of Secret, and next thing you know, he just get 2 kills back to back. It was a surprise, but a welcomed one for the CT's end. And looks like it'll just keep steamrolling for the side of Arcane Aces. 5-5, it's equalized. And this time, Purasangwe are currently in the danger zone of the deciders.
Really fast rush coming in too from the members of PRS. Equalization is very much important for them to play into here. Mac 10 still on the opposite side with a Galil on another. You want to maybe take that first initial engagement a little bit earlier than expected. Utility, a bit of a fumble coming in from the members of Arcane Aces, but a slow approach is a good one. But PRS throwing out all of the close corners, maybe trying to get a bit of chip damage with that HE, but unless they find information of where one of the players are, things are not going to be looking that good. Elytra, fast on the flick and the reaction. It's going to be the one to survive. Now it's all up to Abyss. MP9 in hand. A very good angle to play into. Good for the first initial shot. HE coming through. That's going to deal a little bit of a chunky amount of damage. And the MP9 run and gun coming in for the last save too. Galil now getting picked up, a bit of an upgrade. And with that, the members of Arcane Aces one step closer to getting to that match point here, Baba.
Oh, you're watching Abyss. Giving a lot of wins for the team here, folks. 2 runs back to back. One was a clutch, and another was a 2-tap headshot with a USB silencer. And this is definitely making PRS make a lot of mistake decisions, though. Not good. Not good at all for Purasangwe. 7-5. 2 more rounds left for Arcane Aces to secure the next phase of the Dynamic Duos. And Purasangwe, like, they've made a lot of work on the first half, even on the first map. But Overpass and Nuke are the ones that Arcane Aces are just playing it really good. The adaptations are looking well. Watching Abyss once again, starting things off with a headshot of the MP9 and Elytra. He needs to secure this kill. Eventually he does. 87 HP remains for Elytra, as he only has 1 smoke grenade and Nightmare has a flash. But he can't use it right now. He needs to get information first. If he's in long range, then he could use his flashbangs. Smokes will be used. Information's been given. Nightmare, he gets it. Elytra had no idea where the final player was. I mean, he did, right? I mean, especially once he got the first kill. Actually, no, never mind. Watching Abyss was present, so Elytra had no idea where Nightmare's presence was. So his only main guess was towards ramps, and unfortunately, that guess ended up becoming wrong. So, oh boy, this is not good. Not good.
Yeah, it seems as though the members of PRS have just kind of given up hope here. Position is known for one of the players, but Trigon, his work cut out for him. Maybe find a one shot here with this against this P90, but even then, it's gonna be tough to even try to find one optimal kill. Better on the angle, but the P90 just spots him out and a little bit of a run and gun. It's gonna be a thing that brings it back home for the members of Arcane Aces. A very different story from what we expected to happen is after what we witnessed on map number 1, but in map number 2 and 3, Arcane Aces, what a treat to watch, and the discipline that they showcased right up till the very end was one of the main reasons why they were able to win. Aggression is good, but you need to be very calculated when you are trying to be aggressive, and the members of Sanguine just kind of did their own thing. They were not really being aggressive as a complete squad and a complete unit, and they lacked the discipline to go up against the experience, it seems, coming in from the members of Arcane Aces.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate for Purasangwe. They had a lot of potential in the second half, but once they kept applying pressure time and time again, and when we saw those 2 taps from, from the player on the side of Arcane Aces, it was just, it is tough to come back. Yes, I agree, but that does not mean that you should keep applying pressure over and over again at the same, same positions. Sure, the pressure eventually died down a bit in the last few rounds, And I mean, at this point, it was just Arcane Aces round at this point. Congratulations to them. They will proceed to the next phase of the Dynamic Duos. And I believe that was our first map. I mean, the first match itself, we had all three maps opened up, and all three maps ended up with some of great memorable moments coming in from both the teams. We still have two more matches to go, ladies and gentlemen. We still have two more matches, but we still need to talk about the match of Nuke itself. So at a few more seconds, we'll be able to take a look at the scoreboard of map Nuke. And I've got to say, these two teams, they've made a great presence. They've made a great performance in the Dynamic Duo.
Yeah, that's just certain. I'm pretty sure that the members of Pure Sanguine, when they're coming back for even more Dynamic Duos for CS2, I'm pretty sure they're going to be phenomenal, because those guys, they know what they're doing on an individual skill level, but as a team, it just takes some time, right? Whenever you're playing duos, unless you're able to properly train each other, it just doesn't make any sense. Going aggressive is one thing, but taking your time to maybe set up, try to hear for noises, try to understand where your opponents are before trying to rush in. Waiting for aim is good, but in these situations, it just didn't even exist. Elytra, yeah, he got kills, but he also died really early in a lot of those rounds where Trigon was just stuck on an island in a 1v2, right? What can he even do?
Yeah. Although Wingman solo plays on some certain occasions are really good, but it's even more powerful if you work together as a unit. Teamwork is the most important place it's important for any other FPS games when it comes to utilities or grenades. If you want to secure a single kill without going with gunfights, you can commit to it. You can go on with a perfectly timed grenade to secure a kill if you know the perfect positionings for it. But yeah, like I said, Elytra is really good, but when it comes to teamwork, there is a lot where you guys need to focus on, and hopefully just by looking at the board itself, you'll be able to realize what kind of mistakes that you guys did and be much more stronger in the next future matches. But unfortunately, the team will be eliminated at this tournament. That is really unfortunate. I was actually looking forward to Team Purasangwe to proceed into the next phase, but unfortunately that won't happen. So once again, folks, we'll be taking a short break, and we will be back with the second matchup for the Dynamic Duos. Until then, make sure to stay hydrated. We'll be right back.
It's about staying nimble and focused, ready to take on any challenge. You got this.
Stylish outside, savage inside. Lenovo Legion.
AI for I Cans. For I got this. For cancer fighters, food providers, for dreamers, storytellers, for game changers. We're making AI for all.
Chosen, watch everything we work for fall in line. We gon' give it all until the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end
of time. At Lenovo, we believe AI should live where you do. On your shop floor, sales floor, front desk, teacher's desk, home office, corner office, and on your commute. Beep, beep. AI should be personalized to you, always responsive and always protected. So we all can be safer, smarter, healthier, happier, more productive, less stressed. AI should be at your fingertips. We build and deploy AI solutions at the edge of the network and on premise, so they're immediate, private, and tailored to your business. And with the widest range of products and partners, we deliver the computing power to take on even the heaviest AI workloads. Because we believe AI should come to you and be built for what you need. Available to everyone, everywhere. We're making AI for firstborns, first loves, for I cans, for I got this, for cancer fighters, food providers, for dreamers, storytellers, for game changers. We're making AI for all.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lenovo Tech World 2024 India Edition presents Dynamic Duo CS2. It's going to be your boy Aggressive with Babagusa bringing you the action for game number 2. Ladies and gents, and especially after what happened in game number 1, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of surprises. So today could just be a long one with all 3 maps happening for all 3 games. You never really know what could be on the opposite side because Baba, when you look at a prize pool of 75k and when it is a Dynamic Duo CS2 tournament, there's a lot of surprises. You can never pinpoint one team that will be able to take it all, even if they have the most phenomenal performances. When it comes down to map number 1, map number 2 and 3 can always be a mystery, especially here at CS2. But as we go on down over towards the matchup to see exactly which teams are going to be playing here for this particular matchup, 17G is going up against Elo Policia. I'm going to be pleasantly surprised because personally, I don't know both of these squads. Maybe you can give me a little bit more of a highlight of them.
You know, 17Gs, we haven't really seen a match, but I'm pretty sure we did get to watch Elo Policia's gameplay back when they were playing Cobblestone on day 2. They're a really good team. I mean, when it comes to, you know, teamwork capabilities, I'd say Elo Policia has it like all the way to the top. So I'm really excited to see them. And once again, I'm pretty sure that we would see Cobblestone be back in play as we take a look at the map veto. I'm pretty sure Overpass will be banned at first. Would you look at that? My prediction came wrong once again. So Vertigo, Inferno, and Nuke will be the 3 maps that will be picked for both the teams. 17Gs and Elo Policia. I wish them the best of luck and may the best man win.
Quite the interesting feed coming in from both of these squads though, but for now we're going to be relaxing and noticing exactly what we could be looking to see from the overall dynamic of this play, because Overpass again coming in at the very beginning, not really the best of maps in my opinion, because this is heavily shrewd in the favor of the CTs. And what can the T's even do to try and brute force their way in, right? Either as a T, you're able to out-aim your opponents, otherwise you're just completely done for. Utilization of utility early on, and if you're able to bait out the utility from the CTs, that is good. You need to utilize the smokes early on so that you can extinguish the Molotovs, then pop the flashes, then jump through. There's so many different forms of util that need to be used in proper conjunction with one another to even have a chance of brute forcing your way through monster. And even if you try to go in through each short, that's an even bigger problem, because how do you break through the catwalk if your opponents have a smoke there? It's tough, but first map being Vertigo, it's going to give them a little bit of a chance to just figure stuff out at the end of the day. A mid-rush, but Octane? Okay, never mind. He's still going to take duels. He's going to try to run on down through, maybe find another kill, but GK, good for the trade for his buddy. 0-1, and 17Gs. They start off the entire match with a shebang. An early aggressive push towards mid, and a gamble stack there pays off beautifully for them.
Yep. 17Gs winning their first round of pistols. Might look good. The grenade will definitely tag a lot of players, but there's a lot of mid pressure being applied here from Elo Policia. Actually, not from Elo Policia, sorry, from 17Gs. Once again, it's 2 rounds back to back. Now, the biggest question has to be Elo Policia, whether if they'd make a decision to apply pressure in towards mid again, or would they go all the way towards the stairs? Looks like the answer is still the same. 17Gs are still applying pressure in towards mid once again, but this time in a very different spot though. They're not going to be as aggressive as you'd expected it to be, so this will provide a lot of questions for ELP to determine exactly where the players' positions will be.
Down. So members of Elo Policia not really opting for the aggressive push just yet. MP9 working out the magic and the Tech 9. Spam shots not really connecting here, as GK instead with the MP9 is going to be able to capitalize. A couple of kills from his end. 0-3 scoreline does come through, but with the buys finally being strong for the members of Elo Policia, let's see what they have in store for us for this particular round. Looks to be a little bit more of a push towards the side of staircase, and with none of the members being present and a good amount of bait being given out towards the mid side, the entire site is now completely empty, and with the bomb now going down, they can play the pulse plant here gorgeously. It's all about the timing, and if Grace is able to survive and is able to survive and maybe get one kill, things could be looking up for the members of the Policia for this particular one.
Yeah, his teammates is back, but at the loss of Izzy, they're gonna commit to a smoke plant, but that does not work out. Immediate refrag will be made from Octane to flush out one of the players, and once again we will see a really good retake coming in from 14Gs, 4-0. So Elo Policia are definitely getting caught off guard 4 times in a row.
Sure. And being aggressive on your takes is also so important. Utilization of the smokes, the flash coming through as well, his teammate being able to just swing out immediately based upon the flash. And it seems as though they've already read this ploy. With no aggressive plays being made towards the opposite side on mid, that's instantly just gonna mean that they're coming in through staircase, and GK catches out Grace. Get fish out of water. And now, slow down from either side. Aziz trying to maybe look for a duel, but with the smoke now dissipating, unless he makes a play, 17G, they're just taking their time with it. Is good for the first kill, and now in a 1v1 to try and maybe go in for a clutch.
Octane has all the necessary utilities that he requires, but just waiting for the bomb to be planted. There you go. Grenade will be tossed out. Good damage. He only has a flash to go against, so just rely on post plant here. Round fuse won't work. Just a game of patience and positionings. The info will be given away quickly. Drops will be made. Hopefully that information is given away very quickly. He's going to fall back as soon as possible. Votes will be made. All he needs to do is just click and fall back. Will he commit to it? Here you go. No. Pros don't fake. Does he have an idea? No, he does not. Oh boy.
That is so sad. That is actually a I can't even speak. God damn it. That absolutely sad story coming in. Like, that has happened to me so many times. Whenever I play the map of Vertigo, or even when anyone diffuses inside of a smoke, it's just so difficult to find a single point where it would actually make sense. It's Grace. I'm trying to break through an entry here. It's GK.
Be careful on the scaffolding though.
Yeah. Is he gonna try to do the gun? If he's able to land it, he's gonna be in such a good position, but I don't think you want to risk it. Never mind, he risks it, but he's able to make it.
Yeah, really good smokes from Easy. And Grace just blocking off 2 important points on towards the side. He needs to secure the kill though, and it's Octane once again. Oh boy. 6 kills from his end. 6 wins back to back for Team Glock 17. Sorry, it's 17 Gs. I'm not quite sure why I said Glock 17s for some reason, but yeah, it just kind of rings a bell, right? It's 17 Gs in the end. So 6-0, Elo Policia. They've tried every single trick in the book. They've tried to, make a good split. They've created distractions. But it always comes down to how well 17 Gs are in repositionings. Just when you hear one single utility being tossed out, the rotation is imminent. They could just immediately fall back from mid to B or B to mid, like provide good amount of protection from his teammate, as well as securing one line of sight back at the same time. Great. I mean, the boost was a little bit finicky, but it helps, as it helps you in pushing through smokes and having line of sight both at the same time, right?
And the other part of this boost is that you're able to smoke the front side off and then slowly break your way up. The fact is, they have the entirety of the B side to themselves now. Plant comes through, the ventilation completely blocked off, and that's going to give them a timing to play into the North Plant. But they need to worry about Octane over on the other side. He did take a good chunk of damage, but GK is just an absolute chat for it all. As you see, over towards the back,
Oh,
spray! It does not connect. And a travesty and a tragedy is about to happen all at once. The nade comes through, still able to survive. It's all up to GK to maybe pull off a miracle here. Knife in hand over from the other side is easy. Around the world in 80 days for him. The sun shines bright on the horizon for Elo Policia. 1-6 on the scorecards. At 17 Gs, they lost the round, but good God, was that a little bit too close for comfort.
Really close. Nate will definitely catch GK off guard, but he forgot about the line of sight. And that is definitely going to hurt. The mid presence from 17G is just... It's frightening. Like, how can you get away with a line of sight like this? It's been so many rounds where Elo Policia got caught off guard just by being in mid. Roll swaps will be made. 2 more rounds for 17G to secure map number 1 Vertigo. And Elo Policia, they were such a great team in day 2 of the Dynamic Duos, but turns out up against 17G, there's a lot to learn from, especially on this map.
Yeah. They do have really good angles, I would say, and a lot of smart plays that is being done by their squad, but I don't think having smart plays is going to be enough to make your way through over to the core. Your aim needs to be on point, and your confidence is key. And Izzy, beautiful on the off angle. He's able to get the catch over on one of the players, and GK taking a back seat. With the gimmicks that he's able to provide, he's in a good spot. And now, with the information being gathered, Elo Policia, I like that they're playing in discipline. Going in for the 2v1, not even giving a single 1v1 away. No ego on these players. And that is what you would love to see. Octane used to take a duel and easy. With the USB, he's going to be able to just tap him out of existence. 2-7. The 17 Gs, they lost the round again, but Elo Policia, they're slowly building up that momentum on the CT side.
Yeah, they've got to keep themselves calm in a situation where 17G has the lead. But every single moment counts. Whether if it's weapons, positionings, or just playing aggressive and playing alongside with the team. They're playing it patient. They're not going to give away their positionings just yet. Even though 17Gs have a really bad buy, they just don't want to give them away just yet. Look at that.
No way!
Octane just... Octane, man. Through the smoke, he gets away by taking out Izzy. So it's all up to Grace. The XM shotgun. The danger man in close quarters combat could be a Grace moment for Elo Policia. If he misses the shot, then it's all over. Sound's been given. Now Grace knows that he's confident. That's one. Can he guess the second? No! He does not!
He's probably kicking himself for that one. He got both kills served to him on a silver platter, but he missed the shots.
Oh, man. You just hate to see a dancing T-size just moving left and right when you dodge the XM shotgun in close range. Like speechless at this point. Me and Aggie, both of us are speechless. Let's not forget that this was an eco round. Both of them had P250s.
Let's just not talk about it. It never happened, okay? It was just an isolated incident. The mall is still open for business. But it seems though Grace, he's not going to find any discounts on this mall. because of the opposite side. 17G, I don't think they're expecting it, but he still misses the shot on the MP9. The run and gun not helping him out here. It's easy. Just with a deagle, he can't really do much here. A give and take situation where the members of 17Gs just took away all of these rounds for free. It was murder happening right in the middle of broad daylight. The 17Gs just, after they won that round up against the XM, I'm pretty sure that it was just all over. Elo Policia just had their confidence completely demolished.
And let's not forget, it was an eco round. Both of them only had a P250, right? No smokes, no flashbangs, no grenades, nothing. They just played accordingly with info. And my god, I have no words to say. I mean, one of them just crouched towards the stairs, knowing that one of them would be playing on the top side, gets a headshot with the guy who had an MP9 in hand. I mean, at this point, just toss us a flashbang IRL to just makes us forget every single moment of it and just focus on the next round instead. It's really painful to look at from Elo Policia's perspective, because they did so much. You know, they won the pistol round. They even won the round next to it. They had good utilities, good usage. And then when they start using it in the early rounds, they get picked off like that. You know, it's just the way how 17Gs played. They didn't just aggro push themselves all the way towards the stairs just to, you know, contest the angle or contest that place and get control of it. No, they just played it safe. They were like, you know what? If they're placing smokes, if they're placing grenades, we know what kind of positionings that they're going to be with. So we're just going to use our crosshair positions right at that exact place and make sure to clear angles one by one. And they did exactly that. Let's take a look at the scoreboard once again and talk about the entire KDAs from these two teams.
Yeah, that's just so smart in the way that they were able to take so many of the fights too. You have Octane just slowly peeking out, utilizing his aim to its fullest, and when you have players like that, you can see why it could be very difficult to even try and hold the side against them. The fact that they had that much of impact when it came down to the T side here was very surprising. It seems as though I could be proven wrong. The T side, like the entirety of Vertical, could be a little bit more T side favored if you have aggressive plays of that accord. It's all about key positions right at the end of the day. And those key positions is what will give you the opportunity and that chance to make things work. But for now, the members of 17Gs are just in the driver's seat, yeah, but they shouldn't get too overly confident, because we have seen this in the past, right? That overconfidence could just be your downfall, and that's exactly what happened to the members of our last matchup. Because Piro Sanguine, because those guys, they were so confident after map number 1. It was Vertigo as well. They won it on a 95 scoreline. But as soon as they went over into map number 2, they just got completely bodied, because Vertigo is a map that really awards a team that is a lot more aggressive, who is very confident in their aim. But as soon as you move away from Vertigo, you go into maps such as Overpass, Nuke, Inferno. That's a map that really just puts a highlight on your fundamentals as a player and also as a team. So in dynamic duos, either you're able to just outshine your opponents when it comes down to raw mechanics, or you have the discipline to utilize the utility to force them into uncomfortable situations. And I'm hoping to see that coming in from the opponents of 17Gs, because unless we see something different, it's not going to be looking that good. A possible 2-0 could just be on the cards here.
Yeah, absolutely, again. Second map will be the deciding factor to see whether if Team 17G can conquer map Inferno, or will Elo Policia bring it back? Running off with the pistol rounds. Tech 9. Oh my god. Ouch.
Oh, that's
it was a headshot through wall. I'm not gonna lie, especially with the USP. It's just pre-fires after pre-fires from that exact same angle. And it will be tough for Izzy to even push aside wrong place to reload wrong place, because that pre-fire is going to hurt a lot. Octane has been tagged, got a lot of HP, but Izzy, oh, very close. But he gets picked out again. It's a 1v2. Grace is just 6 HP. With the Tech 9 in hand, Octane is still alive with 7.
Both.
Both of them are low. So there is still a chance for Grace to clutch this out. So it's a very close moment. This trade will happen. Unless and until if he finds the second one, it will be tough. No, there's a window of opportunity. Octane versus Grace. One shot should do the trick. No information's given. He still gets into the headshot. Oh boy. Crisis averted. 17G will secure this round without a fuss. Oh boy. Close. Very close.
Too close for comfort. Octane, like, I'm pretty sure that Grace just didn't see Octane. If he saw Octane over on the opposite side of second pit, then it could have all been over. The underside of balcony is a very powerful position for the CTs to hold, and you could tell that Octane was just in his element. Once more, at a pretty significant advantage, flashes coming through, and they're just going to be as aggressive as possible. The smoke, giving them the cover that they need to break their way in towards the side, and with a couple of nades, they're going to be the ones to hold, and that's a chunky amount of damage being given as Grace. As Grace from the AK, just being the one to ascend from above. 1-to-1, just need to equalize things out in a very decisive way.
Yeah, well, once you have a power position, it's really difficult for CTs to even contest it. And you can see the amount of pressure that they're applying right now. Smokes are really good to block at least one line of sight. This will actually force Elo Policia to be in a split positioning. 5-7, not really good to contest it in long-range gunfights like that. Very powerful in close range, but at least they'll be able to deal some major damage, in which it does with the MP9 headshot potential, and another to secure the kill from Octane's end. They'll get the win, but for now, he just needs to make sure that he gets the AK first. It will be picked up, and I believe that this will be at the hands of Team 17G, with iOctane and GK being on the side of 17G, and Grace and Izzy on the side of Elo Policia. Right, round 4. With a lot of utilities left for Elo Policia on the side of T side. You got to figure out a way to gain control on the site, and you can see how passive we can see them, playing at this point. Just have to wait for the set. Yeah?
An apps flood?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is a good idea, especially against Elo Policia after what they've been doing. A split take, yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. One player over towards the side of Library, one on the far back of underside of balcony. A good crossfire now already broken up. Grace needs to hit the shot though. Unless he's able to find it, this is not going to be looking that good for them here. It's Octane on the opposite end of this. He's waiting it out. He's not able to do it.
Oh wow. Okay. Just 2 kills back to back. Just 5 HP remains. You can see Elo Policia just coming back with yet another round win. Yeah, this is looking desperate now for 17G. MP9 close range will deal some major damage to Grace, but not a lot to Izzy. Oh my god, the power of the 5-7. It's taking out Grace, who was very low on HP. Might get a weapon upgrade too. The Max 7. Losing a lot of time for the team. Information's been given. 2 headshots back to back with the Mac 10, but he still survives in just 4.
That's why I hate the Mac 10.
I'm pretty sure the second headshot just went through the barrels and then to the head.
No, even then, it won't kill you.
Yeah, it won't kill you.
Like, even if you headshot a person twice, yeah, even in medium ranges, it will not kill you, whatever happens. Unless you hit a body shot, you're just done for. Good nade being utilized. GK just exploded. But they're not clearing out the second side of pit. Octane, he's in such a good spot, but the P250 only in his hands. This will be a miraculous clutch if he's able to find it.
Yeah, sometimes high octane requires a little bit of patience from time to time. And Elo Policia are just utilizing it every second. They're not going to give away their positionings just yet. Octane's location is still unknown, but now he's given away. A saving grace for Elo Policia, 4-2.
True. Good utility uses at the end of the day too. Able to find out all the angles and just force out this crossfire before it gets built up. And with that, Policia once more, they're gonna try to go in for a little bit of a hold. Swings out! And a double peek to make sure they capitalize. 4-3 at 17 Gs. They took the perfect gamble and went towards the right side of the archway. And with that, Elo Policia in a little bit of a much more dicier situations, but honestly speaking, on this particular map, it's just balanced on either end. If you know how to utilize your utility, then you're just going to be able to break through a lot of the defensive holds that the CTs have set up.
And this time, 17G, they're currently the ones who've secured map number 1. So, ending things off on a 4-4 could be the best bet. Close range. Oh, what are you? Like, why? But, alright, Grace is just here for the rescue. 2 kills back to back. A very risky decision to bring in Op, especially on the T side. But, you know, what works, works. And eventually we will see Elo Policia getting the advantage in the end on Map Inferno 5-3.
Going back on the flashes, now being invested. Good bounce early on just to try and maybe force the players back from being a little bit too aggressive here. Crossfires not really looking that good. Is he in a little bit of a horrible spot? Because if Grace dies, then he can't really do anything to try and capitalize. I'm pretty sure that they can smell this guy out as well over on the opposite side of Under Balcony. Going for a little bit of a wraparound. Take your time here. Go in slowly. And Izzy, optimum positions for him to try and pounce onto this opposition here. They're trying to go in for a little bit of a split, and I don't know how good of an idea this could be here, Baba. If Izzy is able to find that first kill, then trying to flush him out of this corner is going to be so much more difficult. But over from the top side, the shot's still connected, Izzy! The flick of the wrist just working out in his favor as Elo Policia. This is the team that we witnessed when it came down to day number 2. And they are now back on the driver's seat, and they want to take us to map number 3.
Yeah, the opening was so crucial. Izzy's location wasn't even given away. Should never really underestimate the power of the silencer. Again, the line of sights will be made. Elo Policia has the necessary advantage that they have, and I'm pretty sure that they will steamroll their way all the way to match point. 7-3, 17 Gs. They are they're making a lot of mistakes in on the map like Inferno. It's also a very tough place for the team side to even get control in the first place. Aggressive approach, and once again, it's Grace who gets the end. Match point, and Elo Policia are here to win it for the second map.
A tough call, I would say, as well, for the members of 17 Gs. Kind of lost in what exactly they need to do. Only Molotovs as well to stop these aggressive rushes as Octane with the Tech 9. Able to be a little bit of a nuisance, not really that much with the Galil. Could have just gotten a headshot over here on towards the face of Octane and immediately stopped everything, but for now, more of a relaxing story, I would say. A second win being given to the members of 17 Gs to maybe end this on a possible 2-0 scoreline, but map number 3 looks to be the map that we're going to be heading into, because to try and win 4 runs consecutively without making a mistake on an Inferno, yeah, that will be difficult.
Molotovs will be used to flush out players towards pit, but Grace is still applying pressure. 2 missed shots, and Octane will figure out a way to destroy him. Finds one. Now he needs to find Izzy's location. We've seen him make a 1v2 impressive clutch with the USP. Gonna do the same thing on NP9. Peaks will be made. He secures one. It's all up to Octane. Pop flashes will be made. That will try to at least blind Octane's positionings. But he's still alive. That's applying a lot of pressure towards him. 40 seconds for 17G to secure this round, or else Elo Policia will push us all the way towards deciders. He needs to secure it, and he will get it through a wall bang.
Very close round, mind you. But they've gone a completely different direction if Izzy had maybe an M4 in his hand or even an AK. Now with the stronger weapons in hands of the members of Elo Policia, they look to close things out as Izzy trying to be a little bit cheeky and aggressive here, but up against a Galil, they need to be careful. If you get hit by that headshot, you're just completely fine. It's a slow push once more comes in. Archway under full control of the terrorists here, but with the shotgun over towards the opposite side, it's gonna be Izzy with the crab walk being able to capitalize. GK getting completely shut down. Now it's all up to Octane to maybe pull something off, but a shot, another random shot from the smoke just ends him. Elo Policia, they take that one away for themselves in map number 3, just as I expected. He's gonna be what decides it all, and once more, it's gonna be good old you.
Yep. Nuke is looks like Nuke has always been the deciding factor for our dynamic duos. 2 matches back to back, deciders opened up, and you can see how day 3 has been so very close. You know, day 1 and day 2, yes, we did witness a lot of 9-1s, a lot of one-sided matches, but this time it's like really close. Especially when you have a high-stake prize pool like 45,000 for first place, you would do whatever it takes to use any strategy that you have and put yourself on those top 4 spots. You know, getting a LAN spot in Delhi is really a huge thing. You get to experience, you know, the entire LAN event. You get to experience the tech world, in which the Lenovo has to offer in Delhi. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an amazing site to look at. A lot of new products from our sponsors, Lenovo. It's the whole shebang, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the finals. But talk about the team here, folks. The match is not over yet for these 2 teams, Elo Policia and 17G. 17G's performance in Vertigo was just absolutely stunning, but unfortunately, it fell a bit short on map Inferno. And Nuke, it's very tough to even determine who's going to get it.
Yeah, you just have to wait and see exactly what could happen in Nuke, because both of these teams, in my opinion, are very evenly matched in that regard, because you can tell that they play very aggressively, they play defensively according to what is really going on one particular instance. But from what I expect, the members of Elo Policia, now that they have warmed up and they have tasted that victory, plus from what we have seen from Grace as well, he knows how to trade his teammate. I haven't seen a single situation where Grace has just lost a trade, right? Even if they lose the round, Grace is able to get that trade off, and if he dies to the second player, what if we can do? It happens to all of us, right? You will get traded, but that's the thing. If you are very consistent in the way that you're trading your teammate in comparison to your opponent, then of course you're going to be statistically proven to win a lot more of your gunfights and a lot more of your rounds. Elo Policia, you can tell from the scoreline that they played their trades beautifully. 12-8, 11-6. What does that mean, Baba? Out of every situation that they played in, it was not one player who was the star of the show, it was both. While on the opposite side, 17Gs, GK died 14 times, where Octane, out of those 14 times, only got the first kill, only got the trade, 10 times. So you can see the comparison, right? The trade just being so much more optimum from the side of Elo Policia on this particular map made sure that they were able to win. But going into Nuke, that is going to be even more prevalent, because on Nuke, utility doesn't really matter at all, right? You can smoke things off, you can throw mollies, you can throw flashes, but at the end of the day, Nuke is one of those maps that utility doesn't give you much. As soon as the utility fades, you have absolutely nothing, right? And utility doesn't even give you a significant map positioning advantage. Early on, the CTs are going to be able to get into the most powerful positions, and as a T, unless you're able to clear out angles properly just using the bare-bone fundamentals of the game, such as jiggle peeking and of course audio utilization plus wide swings with your teammate, then you're not going to be able to do much at the end of the day. It's going to be very interesting to see how Nuke is going to play out, because according to statistics, at least from what we have witnessed from map number 1 and map number 2, this should go in the favor of Elo Policia unless we see something drastically different being pulled out by the members of 17Gs.
I mean, at this point, it always comes down to who goes in the CT side first, right? In the first half.
Yeah, true.
By applying a lot of pressure, if you win a lot of rounds in CT's end, and if you end the first half on a 6 to, on at least securing 6 to 7 rounds, then once you come back to T's, all you got to do is just win pistol rounds at the round next to it, mainly because of how the economy works from the CT side. So it always comes down to who wins the pistol round first, who gets the maximum economy. How would you break the economy? It's the biggest question, because as I recall in the previous map on Vertigo, I've seen 17G secure a lot of pistol rounds from their end, right? One of which was a really lucky P250 round, securing 2 kills from Izzy and Grace, in which both of them had a really powerful weapons, the MP9 and the XM shotgun. But that's the thing. Even though Elo Policia has the advantage on maintaining their good economies and being able to trade, it's always those surprising factors and risk-taking decisions that Team 17Gs has in stores. Apparently did not work out on Inferno, so hopefully we might be able to see the same thing happening on Nuke, but we never know. Unless and until they figure out a way to handle out those risky decisions being made from 17Gs, we might be able to see that. But okay, just a quick trade from GK and Izzy. It's high octane gameplay. What can I say? 17G, they just love high stakes at this point.
A little bit harsh, but okay, the AG is gonna be able to deal some damage, but that's the strength of a Glock right there. More bullets, more potential to go in for the run and gun, and the fact that he was able to utilize his movement properly, Elo Policia came out on top once more. That Elo Policia. And the GK! Good god, the MP9 at long range. Such a hard weapon to control from time to time, but the fact that he makes it look that easy is just a difference maker. But Grace, you do not go up against this guy and come out alive. Elo Policia back in the driver's seat once again, 2-0, and 17Gs is forced by just no fruit whatsoever for them.
Yeah, they have no other choice, Aggie. They have no other choice to go in for a fully committed force buy, because if they lose this round, then this will be even much more problematic. FAMAS will secure 1, instant refrags will be made. This is heading neck to neck. Only having an MP9, it's a full buy armor. So you need to take out the player by surprise, or at least secure a headshot and reposition quickly without being attacked. Molotov's been dropped out, so Octane could use it, but it's best to just play it safe. Definitely, if you get the info, that should be great. Saved by the railing, and Octane gets away with a headshot, and it's considered as a wall bang because he shot through the railing. 17Gs recovering the round once again with the force buy, and this was exactly what I was worried about. They like making force buys, they like to make risky plays, and Elo Policia needs to figure out a way to contain this.
There we go. He's not gonna be stepping on the gas pedal anytime soon. It's annoying, as you see. Just an eagle. Maybe you can pull off a kill, but if I get this clutch, it's gonna be so much more difficult with the amount of utility being present in the hands of the CTs here. Positions good towards the side of double doors, but doesn't really have the weapon to do much as GK just catches him out completely. Guns back in the hands of 17Gs, and with that, Elo Policia and 17Gs, they're going to be going into this with complete clean slates, other than Octane, who still is forced to keep up with that MP9. But I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, because especially on these close proximity fights, that MP9 will get so much value. Just as I said, a lot of value.
Oh boy, 1v1 once again. Octane has all the utilities he needs. The main problem is, can he secure the kill? A lot of sounds will be made towards yellow doors, but he has no idea where Octane is. This could be the opening that he requires. But information's been given nonetheless. Easy knows it. All it needs is just secure a shot to the head, and it will be Octane instead. 2 kills back to back, and once again we will see 17 Gs using the power of speed into their own hands. 3 to 2. It's like 8,000 horsepower.
Yeah. A really good swing coming in from Octane as well. Swung out wide, he's able to catch him out completely off guard. It's stuff like this that really is the tides of a battle. It's easy. Look for the first kill. He's not going to be able to find it, but he has information of exactly where both of the players are. One towards the side of Rans, and it's going to be Grace to capitalize on that information with the running gun coming in from the Mac 10. Looking for a fight. GK over in position, but the Mac 10. The jiggle strays are just so much better on that weapon. Catches him out as Policia taking a 3-3 scoreline, and that's what I meant. Capitalizing on top of information. Easy gave that info towards Grace of where the players were. One was directly near the side of the reactor over on the comp side, and the other one was over towards Ram. Grace didn't even need to second guess himself, but now he just need to because Octane! He just spotted his race card. He just went boom boom. Taking out both as now Grace is just stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't think that the Mac 10 is going to save him here.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for Policia. The Mac 10 up against an M4 and an MP9. We reached the end of the first half. It's 4-3. 17G have things under control with good round wins. But Policia are just making sure to bring things back here once again. It's just very crucial for 17G to put themselves back on the lead. And you can see that they're going to play it accordingly. Utilities are just working out. This grenade might be able to deal major damage, in which Izzy is forced on 13. Just one shot to the leg is more than enough to secure the kill. And it would be up to Grace to find the important opening. The railing shot quite worked out well, and it's going to be even much more problematic. Less HP, it's just 13 for Izzy. The end of the first half, and GK will just end things off on a 5-3.
I would say it's pretty even for either side too, with a 5-3 scoreline coming in, a couple of mistakes being made here and there by the members of ELP and also by 17G. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't say any particular team has a pretty significant advantage here going into the second half, but being on this defensive side, Grace and Izzy, you see them pull off miracles here, Baba. And for the CTs, they're in a good spot, just gotta hit the shots here. Grace is able to find the first initial catch here. The P2000 working wonders for them. With that, Grace, the pistol rounds are just his to take.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Policia will be flowing with a lot of cash in their hands. A lot of utilities in their belt. And here comes the surprising part. 17G with their eco round. The fully committed P250s. Now, this is the round what I'm mostly worried about.
True.
The same thing that had happened on Vertigo, Policia did not secure it. So I'm hoping that they won't make the same mistake again, though. 2 MP9s, good amount of utilities. It's already been used in the early rounds with 2 smokes. They only have 1 flash and a grenade left. They're waiting for that perfect opening. Never underestimate the P250. Very powerful in close range. Good headshot tap. Fall back safely. That's really good. Doesn't secure the kill yet. And they need to play to this accordingly. Yeah, that's really good. 1v2. It's up to Octane to secure these important kills, and it will be denied immediately. 5-5. A perfect win for Grace as he secures 2 kills back to back.
You guys are menace to society. Like, who does that? Like, you cannot kill him at all. It is such a rad angle to play into, but hey, he knows how to utilize it to such a beautiful degree. What do you have to say against it as GK finally gets a shutdown over against Grace, but he went in a little bit too aggressive, so his teammate was not able to trade him out there. A good try and a good chunk of damage being given, so GK very low on the HP department, so 2 bullets, he's gonna get shut down. It all depends on the timing coming in from Izzy, though. He's on the bottom side, and he's gonna be able to catch out GK for it. And upgrade straight up to the AK. AG over to the opposite side to break down the door. He's not able to find the headshot, though. It's Octane. He now has a smoke to play around with. This is beautiful. Master's class being done by Octane here. Just needs to survive here on towards the side of break room. For him, Slow instead he wins the race. Single door, not completely broken out. He could have just played this one a little bit more differently. But spam in from the other side. And he's just giving away so much information. The fire now burning, but he needs to try going for the kill, and he's gonna be able to do it beautifully. Octane. He doesn't care for the molly. He doesn't care for anything else. Oh, mistakes being done by the members of Elo Policia there. He could have placed the smoke directly on top of the bomb there and then opted to go in for a molly a little bit more further out. But the heat of the moment, you make these mistakes. But when you're at match point and series point, mistakes like those can cost you very crucial rounds like it did here.
That's really crucial. Especially the way how Octane played in that post plant was just really good. He played it patiently, utilizing the smoke to get back to safety, and then followed up with a risky play, which did end up favoring for 17G. At this point, it's just play for mistakes, see where that utility is thrown, and find, or should I say, pinpoint the exact location on the players. Door's been opened up. That's the sound cue been given. They need to get that timing right from both Octane and GK. Informations will be given properly. The long range didn't quite help him a lot, so the trades will be given from GK. And the second information will be given right away, so this will be tough for Izzy, as he needs to be worried about 2 angles, but not to worry when you have an aim like that. It's really close though. Once again, 6-6. As we take a look into it, the instant replay.
Just so fast on his flicks as well. The adjustments being made with full confidence, and now I think a little bit more like a rat with the members of Elo Policia. Another gorgeous crossfire being set up, a lot more of a defensive crossfire, mind you. Izzy now being towards the bottom side, and with Grace holding from the ramps. Octane expecting a little bit more of an aggressive play to come in, possibly from the sidelines, but not really much being done by 17Gs. They're taking their time as they're slowly walking their way up towards the double door, but this is not space for them, because on the opposite end, Izzy, as soon as he opens the door, or if anything happens to this door, if they break it with an HE, he can swing out and instantly get 2 kills.
This is really too close for comfort. Only 20 seconds. From 17G has been neutralized, not a trade. And this will be even much more tougher for 17G to hold on to. Once again, it's Elo Policia securing a round win on move 7-6. And this is looking really risky for 17G as they're losing rounds back to back. 2 rounds where they were tempted to make a split push. They wasted a lot of time, and they need to figure out a way to dismantle this.
What I love as well here, Baba, right? Is the fact that they're playing it so disciplined, and these disciplined plays are giving them the advantage. How many rounds did the members of Elo Policia play that aggressively? They played at the bare minimum of 4 rounds aggressively, right?
Yep.
And after they played aggressively for those 4 rounds, 17Gs, they tried to adapt. They tried to play slow. They tried to clear them out of control room and all of the other different proximities before they opted to go in for a rush. And the fact that EOP just didn't make any noise, the members of 70Gs had no idea whatsoever of where they could be holding on to. The fact that they're playing pure anchor on proper crossfires is what's giving them this edge. And 70Gs are just completely lost on what they want to do here.
And now as the time slowly ticks down to 55 seconds, 17G, they need to get at least a kill or two, or else this entire match will go away. They would be eliminated out of this tournament and secure a spot to the LAN finals. This would not look good for them. Elo Policia, they are playing it very safely. They don't want to give away their positionings, and with that, patience earns its reward. Elo Policia 9-6, as in the second half they played it really well. They just waited for the T side to make their approach into the site, and they've made an exceptional performance from it. And we get to see Elo Policia move on to the next phase. Congratulations to them.
I'm not really surprised that Elo Policia were going to be the ones to get it. And statistically, I told you the exact same thing now, didn't I, Baba? And my prediction was just pure spot on that basis. But for now, though, that was a very decisive win coming in from the members of Elo Policia. Good hard-fought rounds. A couple of rounds, though, coming in from the members of 17Gs. They knew what they wanted to do for map number 1, and it seems so vertical for the underdogs of a lot of these stories. They're playing it well, but at the end of the day, aim is not the thing that wins you all of the games now, is it? The fundamentals matters a lot. And it seems as though on vertical, you can get away with not having the best of fundamentals if you know how to just click the heads of your opposition. And maybe, just maybe, the comfort of Elo Policia for that particular map was just not as present. There were a lot of very interesting strategies being utilized on that map of vertical, but not a lot of them panned out. But when it came down to Inferno and of course you, the team just looked to be in control. They knew what they wanted to do. They had proper game plans in mind. They know how to opt for rotations. Plus, the biggest and the most important thing out of all of it, they knew how to trade each other better than the members of 17Gs did.
Yeah, with that, I believe the online qualifiers have come to an end, and we have our finals. We have our finalists for our dynamic duos. We have to apologize for that. Yeah, we have Arcane Aces, Noobs, Tatakai, and last but not least, Elo Policia. These will be our 4 teams who are selected for the grand finals in the Lenovo Tech World 24 India Edition presents Dynamic Duos for Counter-Strike 2, sponsored by Lenovo. Congratulations for these 4 teams. They are qualified for the LAN event, and they are having a straight ticket to Delhi.
Yeah, sadly, the third match did not happen, ladies and gentlemen, because there was a forfeit. But hey, at the end of the day, the 2 matches that we did have wasn't extravaganza. It went to all 3 maps, a lot of close fights, a lot of close duels, and hey, we saw a lot of different teams, a lot of different players, really start showing up their raw mechanical skill at the end of the day as well. And when you have players like that just completely taking over a server, I'll take 2 matches over 3 any day, because quality matters more than quantity in these cases. But it is a little bit sad as we are not able to see the last game, but the top 4 being decided basically means that the game's quality has just gone up tenfold as well, because as teams are getting closer and closer to getting towards that prize pool of 75k, you know that their hunger for victory and of course their entire practice is just going to get even more fruitful. But as we are going to be talking more about the practice, let's go into the scorecards and see exactly what the members of 17Gs, of course Elo Policia, also have to try and improve upon. And Baba, you can walk us right through this one.
Yep, the final map of Nuke, with all the scoreboards that we can see on our screens. Elo Policia with a total of 11 and 10 kills from Izzy and Grace respectively, and GK, Octane on the sides of 17Gs, 8 to 7 kills. Octane had made a lot of a lot of flashy plays that eventually did ended up with securing a lot of important kills. But eventually, when it comes down to the second half, when you see Elopolicia played the entire round as safe as possible, it was really difficult for 17Gs to even come back, forcing them on an even more eco rounds that they've lost back to back. There was one round where Octane played it really great in the post round situation. The smokes was good, the play time was really great, and even though with all of that efforts being made, it was Elopolicia who did ended up being on the top 9-6. And I believe that comes an entire end to it, Aggie. We had two matches back to back. All two matches ended up with deciders being new. So that's actually looking good for our dynamic duos here, Aggie.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see exactly what the finals have in store for us, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, the finals will be held on the 7th, ladies and gentlemen, and they'll be big. And of course, when it is going to be the LAN, you know that the stakes are even higher than ever. So make sure to check it all out. And it's going to be Tech World. And if you're into the tech and, of course, the lovely and beautiful gadgets that our sponsors have in store for you, make sure to get yourself there. But for now, it's going to be your boy Aggressive with Babagusta signing on off for just today. We're going to be back with a lot more action day after tomorrow with the Lenovo Tech World 2024 India Edition presents Dynamic Duos CS2. And it's going to be us signing on off. Goodbye, good night, and happy gaming, everyone.
It's about staying nimble and focused, ready to take on any challenge. You got this.
Stylish outside, savage inside. Lenovo Legion.
AI for I Cans. For I got this. For cancer fighters, food providers, for dreamers, storytellers, for game changers. We're making AI for all.
We were chosen. Watch everything we work for fall in line. We gon' give it our all until the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time.
At Lenovo, we believe AI should live where you do. On your shop floor, sales floor, front desk, teacher's desk, home office, corner office, oh, and on your commute. Beep, beep. AI should be personalized to you, always responsive and always protected. So we all can be safer, smarter, healthier, happier, more productive, less stressed. AI should be at your fingertips. We build and deploy AI solutions at the edge of the network and on premise, so they're immediate, private, and tailored to your business. And with the widest range of products and partners, we deliver the computing power to take on even the heaviest AI workloads. Because we believe AI should come to you and be built for what you need. Available to everyone, everywhere. We're making AI for firstborns, first loves, for I Cans, for I got this, for cancer fighters, food providers, for dreamers, storytellers, for game changers. We're making AI for all.